What's up, everybody? Answers by guess. What's up, Rob?
What up, what up?
Ooh, draft night, ABG inaugural league special edition. Welcome. Hopefully, we get some viewers. We can answer some questions. We got to focus a little bit on our draft. We got a couple things for this little show tonight, but we had a request to do this draft live, so that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, we sure are. So let me try to see if I can get this set up here.
Yeah.
Bear with us one sec here.
We got less than a week here, too. Huh? A week from today is the big day. All it says is Facebook user. What's up? I don't know, Facebook user. How are you? Maybe you're new to the room?
Interesting.
I'm not sure. You're so incognito. Kind of dig it.
You know what? I added actual different streams. So we just streamed to Facebook before. Now we're streaming to the page, the group, and to YouTube. So maybe that's why we're having a Facebook user. It says can't post comments to some destination. So could be interesting.
Well, less than a week.
NFL starts Thursday. Sure does.
We got a week for opening Sunday. Less than a week till the season. That's correct. I wish it said who we were. We're just Facebook users. Let's type names because we got some fans. We got some family members on here. Some ABG fan people. And I want to know who I'm talking to. It kind of sucks. It's kind of good that it goes to IG and YT. But I want to know who people are. We like to be personal here. If you're new, we're two guys in a basement. This is our 5th season. We started it. You should check out the preseason show. 3 hours long, but you can click to any team to hear about any player that you may be worrying about, wondering about, thinking about. And, we do things kind of different. Right, Rob?
Right there. Perfect timing. Fantasy football's inside scoop from outside the box.
Yeah. We typically aren't going to talk about the guys that everybody else is talking about. We're going to tell you about guys that you should be thinking about for the most part. We're pretty good at it. And let's see how we draft tonight. We have the 13th pick, as you can see right there. So we'll see how we do. Do not see any comments going on other than Chris said good evening to us in the draft comments section. Like I said, if you got a question about something, we can try and answer real quick in between picks. We're going to be back-to-back pretty much at the 13 spot, so we'll have some downtime. We're just sort of watching everybody else do their thing. I figure this draft will probably take an hour and a half to 2 hours. So we're going to be here if you need us. Saw a couple of people throughout this past week posting their teams in the comments, and this is typically something that I would say, opening game, opening weekend show. But I feel like I say it now. You just drafted this team. For the most part, you draft guys because you like them. Not a problem to ask somebody else's opinion. But a lot of people go nuts already. These guys haven't even done anything. And what I already know is going to happen, and it happens every single year, after week 1, somebody you thought that was going to be good, somebody that we thought was going to be good, is going to lay an egg. And you're going to start freaking out. Don't freak out, right? It's 1 week. And even after 2, 3, 4 weeks. And a lot of times we had a couple people last year that talked to us about this, and they're flipping out. Their team is 1-3, but you got the second or third most points scored in the league. Your team will be fine. You don't need to blow stuff up. Just because you've lost a couple close ones or you lost to somebody who blew up that week. Everything will right itself. You want to score points. Yes, the wins are important, but don't freak out if your team doesn't perform week 1. Week 1, habitually, usually is the worst week for most fantasy takes. Because there's going to be 1 or 2 guys that pop off out of nowhere. We'll try and let you know who they are before that happens. Let's what we do once again. And there's going to be a bunch of guys who are going to be drafted in the first couple of rounds that aren't going to do anything. They'll rebound. The guys that popped off will fall down to earth. It'll level out, the ebbs and flows. So keep that together. Most people drafting this weekend, I guess it's like the fantasy draft weekend. I got this one tonight. I got one more tomorrow, and I'm done. How about you, Rob?
This is my last one. And actually, no, I lied. I do have my sons got a team this year to play with their buddies. They're drafting tomorrow at 4, so it's going to be interesting. They're co-managing.
Very nice. Nice. All right, here we go. You hear the beat?
10-second mark, guys. So we're doing in presentation mode, so you're going to see the picks coming up as they go. And best of luck.
I got about 15 Facebook users and then Sean Huberty.
Yeah.
I love it.
So McCaffrey went first.
And I don't see anybody auto drafting, which is actually Nick's nifty team.
Yeah, I text him. Hopefully he can make it, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Otherwise, you know what? 13 out of 14, not bad.
Yeah. So I am going to be doing the drafting. Rob and I are sharing a team. In case anybody's not aware, there's also another set of managers, Darko and Michael, correct? They are sharing a team. They are the two-headed monster that picked one. So Rob's got this up on his account so you can see all the picks that are going off, and I'll be clicking back over to mine. You won't see it, so I can queue up who we're looking at and thinking about. We got a plan. We'll see what happens.
I'm kind of interested to see who's going to be the outside players. Like, I mean, you usually have your first 5 or 6 that are pretty common. So the first 3 so far, Christian McCaffrey, Cook, Henry, you kind of expect that. Who's going to be that oddball? That's what I'm looking forward to.
Mm-hmm. Probably us.
Always.
Oh, you meant with the draft.
With the draft, yeah.
I was just speaking in general terms.
We all know you're that oddball there, sir.
Yeah. All right,
Zeke went 5th here. All right.
There.
Let's see. Auto draft, who's going to be? Probably Chubb.
Yeah, he's got to be. He's next on the list. There it is.
Collector's Haven. All right. Aaron Jones.
Okay.
A lot of red in this column. Ooh, first wide receiver off the board. I love this name. I'm not going to say it out loud, but it's fantastic.
Sure. There. Homer. Homer pick. I like it.
There goes Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Yep.
Kelsey.
So, let's see what Sean does here. We are up next. Rob, butter, baby.
Let's go with butter. There it is.
We like Mac Jones. We talked about Mac Jones in the preseason show. We said that we liked him. Rob, what do you think here? Butter?
We went butter already. Eggs?
Do you think some eggs? Safest play?
Eggs is the safest play in my opinion.
Let's do it.
All right. As you can tell, we have a little bit of code names going here for certain players.
Hold on. What? Okay.
Ooh, first quarterback off the board. Look at him doubling up. Hill and Patrick Mahomes. Smart move. Smart move. Get a little Austin Eckler. Man, second round Austin Eckler. Not bad.
Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
No problem. We got plenty of time to go here. Oh, this is very interesting. Look at Diggs going second round. That's surprising to me. Diggs going. I don't know. I'm kind of in the same boat, though. I mean, I wouldn't have drafted Diggs in the first round, to be honest with you. I like him a lot. I just don't see him repeating what he did last year. He could. He definitely could. But it's just him and Josh Allen were too good last year. Let's see where we go. Joe Mixon, AJ Brown.
Yeah, let's see what's out there. Ooh, okay. We got a long time. Ridley fell, man. We passed up on him. A lot of people passed up on him.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Ridley fell that far.
Yeah. I like Ridley. I just want to go with Captain Consistency with Mr. Eggs there.
Yeah, I know you can't go wrong with Hoppy, man. I just really think that him and Kyler are going to be something special this year. I really, even though it sounds funny, Christian Kirk should be the number 2, but AJ Green, I know we've been talking about him and not to take him and stuff like that. He's been growing more and more in my mind as just that guy that possibly can be somewhere later in the draft kind of deal. You know, maybe taking a shot on him, hopefully become the AJ Green of old.
Well, why don't you go ahead and pick him up in the leagues I'm playing against you?
That's how I'm feeling, man. I don't know. Everyone's been talking about AJ Green lately, and I'm just like, man, am I overthinking this? I feel like I'm not. I honestly don't want to draft him, but what am I missing? That's what other people are looking at. What am I missing?
I don't know. It's he's the same person basically as Julio, right? They came in the league together.
Yeah.
So it's like he's a little more glass made. But people like who they like, and that's the most important part. You gotta pick who you like. You gotta go with your gut, as we always say.
I like Waller going there.
It's so crazy. We got Braden. You can see Braden's name. Everybody else is Facebook user. This makes me a little sad. It's like you're calling in a radio show when we do our Sunday shows and our our Tuesday, Wednesday shows for the free agents and the Thursday game. You're gonna have to be like, hey, it's Bill. I got a question.
Yeah, correct. And you know what? Maybe I got to see if I know there's permission forms for people to have to sign to be able to actually their names to be posted. So maybe that's why it's coming up as Facebook users. We may have to put something on our group where they actually click on it saying that it's okay for us to show their name.
Okay.
I think the fact that Braden's probably a part of the page and the group, same thing probably with Sean. Maybe that's why they're able to see their names compared to the other users. Mm-hmm. We do got 10 people watching, though. Not bad.
Yeah. I see 3 tight ends off the board.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Kittle and Waller went in the second round. I mean, I guess that's where they've been, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of talent out there later on for some sleeper tight ends.
Again, I don't know who said it, but somebody said I can see everyone's names. I would imagine that on Facebook, it's just looks like a normal live, but we're on this thing, StreamYard, and here it doesn't look like that. Look at the board here. Let me see what's left. A lot of guys are like, this spot is so. 13 is so tough. Rob and I were, we did a few mocks throughout this past week, send each other what we came up with. We found out 13 is pretty tough this year.
I agree, man. Yeah, 13 was really tough for me. I think we going back and forth. It's like, all right, the strategy has to change for this one. The strategy has to change for that one. It's like, what does it look like if you take this player first or that player first? Yeah. Hey, can you try to see if you can match on what I just drafted here and going back and forth? And it's like, holy moly. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of these drafts, you have some people taking Tom Brady with a 3rd pick and stuff like that. And you kind of have to figure out, would this person really be here if I was, drafting? But some of the teams were pretty bad for my first ones, but it definitely looked up as we moved along here.
Mm-hmm.
What's Landon going to do here? 3rd round's always a big one. This is still your core, but this is where you're kind of thinking, okay, I think this person's going to have a good year more than even the first 2 rounds, at least in my opinion.
Well, I'm looking at it saying he's got 2 running backs. I would think he's going somewhere else, but who knows? Because I never played with Landon before. I don't know what he's thinking. That's going to be the beauty of this league this year. Got actually 2 leagues. There's another league that Steven Biker, and you never told me if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not. got me into. And the buy-in is so low, it drives me nuts. But it's a cool league. It's on Sleeper. I am enjoying it. Investing a lot of time and thought into the team, and the draft took forever. It was a slow draft. But for $10, it just disappoints me just a little bit because I feel like I've invested so much. And I said this to Biker. I said, if I win, I get to take my family out to Applebee's. It's like, you know.
Ooh, another QB off the board, Josh Allen.
It.
That's a good spot for him, man.
No questions. Nobody's got any questions. Just enjoying the draft.
Yeah. I kind of like doing this and seeing it like this coming up on the board as we go along here.
Yeah. You're seeing it's looking like peanut butter and jelly are still there.
Yep. It's going to be a close call there, sir. I'm going to probably have to let you decide which way you want to go.
I'm almost wondering if we should, I was going to say like snag ham.
And then be left with either jelly or peanut butter?
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, that made it apparent to us, did it not?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gonna go ham or cheese?
I think a ham. What do you think?
Yeah, double.
Double BB
there it
banger.
Is. Love the double BB.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna have to. Let's see.
Yeah, that's got to be Hendrick with the German flag. You got Taylor and Swift. Should I rename? I think you should. I mean, Taylor Swift keeps it nice and simple. All right, Rob. So we got plenty of options here. I mean,
look at bye weeks and go with your gut, bud.
Well, I'm gonna talk this through. This is what people want to see. I'm thinking, right, of what's there on this list. I mean, I like Cup, but I don't want to take him here. I could take Pitts, or the guy I just added to the queue.
I would probably go the guy in the queue because I feel like we can get a lot of tight end production later.
All right, I'm going for it. It's my guy.
Target monster. Whew. That went differently than I thought.
Sure, but we're okay.
I like it.
We're okay. And there's Pitts. See how I put that out there? I subliminally mentioned him. Just so I let somebody else take him there. Braden, you're angry. You wanted Deontay? You know I love Deontay. I gave Deontay Johnson's name before anybody knew who he was when he was a rookie. I remember I drafted him in our Dynasty League, and our buddy Chad was like, Deontay Johnson, who the heck's this guy? I'm like, dude, he's Antonio Brown Jr. He's Antonio Brown Part 2. He had a couple games last year where he suffered from the drops, but he's a target monster. He's Big Ben's favorite. He's the best wide receiver on the team. I don't care what anybody says, any fanboys at Claypool. Deontay's the best on the Steelers.
Brandon Ayuk. Look at that. Going before a Cooper Kupp. Interesting.
I like it. I like how it's going, Rob.
Yeah, same here.
We just got to get back. It's going to be such a... Yeah, that's interesting. A-Rod there.
Yeah.
You know, I love him as much as anybody.
The A-Rod over Lamar. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Where's Chris going to go here?
I think Chris is a little upset that he doesn't have any Bills on his team. I'm sure he was going after Josh Allen when he had to take Miles Sanders. Right?
Yeah, I would think he would have took Josh Allen there.
He skipped over Diggs, grabbed Aaron Jones. Maybe he's not that big of a homer.
He's making me nervous. I think Ayuk, yeah, we're actually says I freaking love Ayuk, even if he is a Niner. Yeah, I think Ayuk and Debo, they're both going to be good this year. The only thing that makes me worried is the QB situation. Is it going to be Garoppolo and then Trey Lance, and then are they going to be going back and forth kind of thing? I don't know. That's what worries me with a little bit with San Francisco.
Just got to get there, Rob. Got to get there because I want some beans.
We definitely need some beans.
Mm-hmm. Josh Allen's my goal line back.
Smart move.
Who's this? Who's picking right now? There goes Cooper. Cooper. There's Lamar. Solid pick. Went late. I hope Kyler over Lamar doesn't come back to bite us. I think Lamar's going to have a nice big bounce back season. They're going to use his legs again. They tried to keep him in the pocket too much last year. And the way their wide receivers just were terrible, it really held him back. They were afraid of him getting hurt. I think they're going to let him loose again, running the ball. And I'll tell you one thing. If you're in a dynasty league, their backup, Huntley, right? I believe that's his last name. He is like Lamar. I think he had 4 touchdown passes their last preseason game. He's a rookie a couple of years ago. He's young. He would be a much better fit for them than Robert Griffin was. It's clear that they want a backup quarterback that's the same type as Lamar, so they don't have to change the offense. And he proved. So if you're in a dynasty league, especially a super flex, grabbing Huntley and just sort of stashing him on your bench as your 5th quarterback or something, just in case, that could be a league winner in case Lamar goes down. It's a name most people don't know. I grabbed a couple of his Contenders Optic autos for like $2 about a month ago in a sale. So that would be a nice profit if something were to ever happen. But I wish no bad things on Lamar. I'm a Lamar fan.
Me too, man. I like Lamar a lot. I really think he has so much potential in just being a running quarterback. He just needs wide receivers.
Remember when I called he was going to have a big year? I took him as my quarterback, and I was like, I got a feeling he's going to go off. And then that first game against, I think it was Miami, right? He was just chucking the ball, huge touchdowns. You were
5
over here.
Touchdowns, did he? Right? And then he said he's like, "This is I'm not just a running back or something like that, or
yeah.
something to that effect."
Like I remember being over here. You were over here on opening day, as you typically are, and we were just going nuts at how ridiculous he was swinging the ball. And then it's like last year, he got a little overdrafted and they didn't want him getting hurt.
I had him last year and he helped me win a championship, man.
Yeah.
And especially those last weeks.
Yeah,
he really started coming on, I just want to point out LA Rams fans went Tampa Bay offense, Mike Evans and Antonio Brown.
Not bad.
I'm not upset with that. If he throws Tom Brady in there, I don't think he's a Rams fan.
Where did Godwin go? He went after, or is that before?
Godwin is Jet Super Bowl. He's first pick in the 4th. No, first pick in the 4th. It was the wraparound.
Oh, Evans came back around. I gotcha. Yeah. Okay. All right. Where are we at? We're still 12 years away from our pick here. Okay. No problem there. Let's see. Still got people watching? No questions. No
We do,
wonders.
Yeah. Bear Down has a real solid team.
Well, I guess, we're going to be live. What day are we going to do it? We're going to try and do it Wednesday, you think? Or should we try and do it Tuesday? I think Tuesday might work better for me personally. If we do the Thursday show on Tuesday, I know it's a little soon before. But I can see your comments. I just don't know who you are. It says Facebook user. Yes, I can see your comment.
Bear Down has a real solid team. I'm wondering, what the heck does Bear Down mean? And now I realize Bear Down. Jeremy's team. I agree with you, though. Look at that. He got Derrick Henry, Dave Montgomery, Scary Terry, Boyd, Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
That's not bad, man.
Yeah. Everybody's injured, Braden, on Baltimore. So it's like, sure. Andrew just fine picked there. We had a Facebook user say Tuesday would be better for them.
I think Tuesday's going to be better for me, too, to be honest with you. Tuesday nights seemed like they would be a good night.
All right. At least this Tuesday. So sometimes it might have to switch to Wednesday, but
you got to remember, too, we got to think about waiver wire pickups as well. So that probably would go Tuesday into Wednesday.
Okay. So Tuesday. Let's do Tuesday.
We'll try to shoot for Tuesdays.
Let's do Tuesday this week for sure.
Okay.
Right? We'll always put it on the page. This Tuesday show shouldn't be too crazy because there's just a game, no real waiver wire pickups other than stuff we're sort of knocking off there. And here's the thing, right? Darko, you typed your name, so you're like, can you see my comments? Well, it says your Facebook user, and then you just come in as Facebook user and say Darko. So I don't even know. Did you type, can you see my comments? Again, you got to be like, hey, it's me.
Blah, blah, Darko dash blah 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 blah. Sorry guys, this is something I'll figure out and make sure that we get it going for the next time.
How annoying! How annoying!
I really think it has to do with again with privacy issues and stuff like that. Look at Hawk going there. Ooh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. I think the big jump there, the one that nobody really saw, was Cole Kmet.
Oh, that was a big move, yeah. Cole Kmet could have a year, man. I mean, that Bears offense, especially if it does become Justin Fields.
We got 2 picks. All right, Rob. Beans.
Beans it is.
Facebook user error 67. I don't even know what that is. All right, so Rob, I'm looking just to make sure. Should it be some salad or, I mean, the 2 guys I just added to the queue, they're all in the same boat for me. I like salad preferably, but it's
the first one that you added. I was looking at the fact that he was still out there.
You sure?
Yeah, but that makes me nervous. Let's keep on going with the plan, man. If we feel better more with salad, then go with salad.
You think so? Tell me, one way or another.
Let's go salad.
You sure?
Sure.
All right. I think he takes it over. This year. Let's just see here. Now, again, Facebook user 67, and then the next person says, was joking with you. But
it's probably Darko, man.
They all just say Facebook user. You're all the same person to me. Who was the other? I can't tell you who the other people were. That's the whole point. I can't tell you who else we're thinking about. Yeah, Fournette is looking shaky. I think Rojo's the best one. They just can't bench him after something that's not his fault. I'm going to go into 15 rants this year about Rojo. Brady fumbling the ball, and they, of course, blame it on Rojo, and then he gets benched the whole game. It's absolutely ridiculous. Their coach. I hate using this term because I could basically be one, but I'm not. I was born in 82. Yeah, I'm old, but I'm not a boomer. A freaking boomer for the Bucks there. Bruce Arians benching people for the whole game, and they're killing it. All right, I'll tell you who one of the other ones. One of the other ones, Mike Davis.
That's the one I was saying, the first one that he added onto the queue. I don't know. I think Mike Davis is going to get a lot of burn. What makes me nervous is that offensive line. That's why I said go salad, Rojo, just because you're on a winning team there compared to if they're down big, Mike Davis might not get the ball as much.
I tell you this, though. Like, I don't love him, but I get it. You know, he killed it last year. Remember when I told people to pick him up? He killed it. Tons of receptions. If they use him in that manner, the offensive line won't matter too much because the blitz is coming, check it down, boom, dump it off. But they did sign, who was it? Wayne Gallman, right? Is that who they got?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, Wayne Gallman. And, you know, he looked good for the Giants for the most part when Barkley went down. So I don't think it's going to be all Mike Davis. I think that they will rotate at least Gallman in there a little bit. But Mike Davis is certainly a solid pick. I mean, if I had him on our list, Rob, probably just would have went ahead with him.
Mm-hmm.
But
the only thing that makes me nervous with a little bit of Rojo action is Gio Bernard. Because does that mean that he does have a high, and he tends to be injured a lot? That's why I'm not hugely worried. But you got to think, if they already said that he's the third down back,
right,
that means Rojo's splitting time for first and second snaps with Fournette if Gio is, the third down guy.
What's up, Nick? I can see Nick's name. Stop him to say, hey, why can I see Nick, Braden, nobody else? Sean?
Guys, make sure you're liking the page in the group. Maybe that's why we're seeing it.
Maybe. Yeah, go to the page. The page is the OG. That's where we started. Like the page, follow the page, join the group, follow us on IG. What else are we on? TikTok, YouTube.
Everything.
Trying.
Twitter.
Push it out there.
The Twitter.
Because we realize we can't ask you anymore to tell your friends about this because we know you don't want to, because your friends will then benefit from us. So we just had to do it ourselves.
Look at Nick's wide receiver core. Calvin Ridley, Allen Robinson, Cooper, and Julio.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Corey Davis was just taken. Let's go ahead and cross him off our list.
Yeah, no grass for us on this one.
No grass.
Not that kind of grass.
No grass. I like this. This is fun.
This is different, yeah. I mean, I think this could be a yearly thing.
I'm going to tell you one thing, Facebook user, because I don't know who it is. If there was MySpace, I'd be on it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'd be on it. It would be, as soon as you clicked on our page, it would play our intro song. It would play my favorite song at the moment. It would play Rob's favorite song. It would play one of my all-time favorite. We'd have a whole list. I'd have pictures of random stuff on there. MySpace was the best. I don't care what anybody says. It was better than everything. MySpace, I saw somebody's meme about this. It would never fly nowadays because you used to be able to rank your friends.
That's right, top 8.
Could you imagine the suicides, and nothing to joke about, but the we'll say
hysteria.
Yeah, metaphorical suicides. The Oh, be quiet. The self-hatred that would happen if you were bumped from somebody's number one friend on MySpace in today's day and age. It would not go over well.
Yeah, hysteria. That's what I'll say. But again, you're 100% correct. I would definitely have pictures. First of all, MySpace was programming 101 for everybody.
It was fun.
It was fantastic. I was literally clicking links, grabbing URLs, and then I would have a little girl like dancing on the side with some shimmery hair and stuff like that next to a song that I wanted to play. It's like, holy moly.
Yeah. Holy moly is right. I couldn't think of a better holy. Friendster, I didn't ever dabbled with that or Google Plus. Facebook user 6 has been kicked from the chat. That's funny, Facebook user.
That's a good one. All right, looking. Gesicki's off the board.
Hurts.
I like that. I like that Jalen Hurts pick there. I think he's actually going to have a pretty good year, man. They're saying that the wide receiver schedule also for the Eagles is pretty damn good. I know you're high on Quez Watkins, so.
I'm going to tell you all this now. If you have not drafted yet, most of you probably have. Most of you probably drafted yesterday or today. And it's too late in this league, and not sure who that Jets team is. Bobby T, if you watched us at all last year, Robert Tonyan, I'm not a fan. I do not think that he is going to be the starter for much longer. Their third-round pick from 2 years ago, Josiah DeGuara, he's the stud, man. He's working himself from injury. He looked really good the first game of the season last year before he went down. He's going to be the starter. And I know my love for Jace Sternberger is out there. He's suspended the first 2 games, so that's going to hurt him. But I honestly think it's going to be Mercedes Lewis is going to fade off into oblivion, and it's going to be a 3-headed monster at best for Robert Tonyan. But I do think DeGuara, you're going to know his name for Green Bay. He was the third-round pick. He was the second tight end off the board, I believe, 2 years ago. Green Bay took him in the third round. So he's a stud. People don't know him because his rookie season was cut short.
Are you seeing these comments?
GIF of a butt fumble on a loop. Yes. Christian Mingle. I could be, but I'm married, and that wouldn't be very Christian of me. So
very good point.
I'm not.
I'm on J-Date.
Now, Facebook user, I must say, how about OnlyFans? Answers my guess. Yes. If you want to join that, if anybody wants to join that, I will do that because I heard that brings good money. I think Chase Edmonds was somebody else that we were thinking. It was Mike Davis, Chase Edmonds, or Rojo.
Correct. Chase Edmonds was the other guy.
Yeah, and I like Edmonds. He's got to stay healthy. I really like Edmonds. I like Eno Benjamin on the team, but he's 4th string at the moment. Somehow, I believe Jonathan Ward won the third back because we know Connor's not going to stay healthy. I probably shouldn't say that. I should have let somebody draft him. But Chase Edmonds is a fine pick for sure. Just didn't want to have too many Cardinals. We already have the quarterback and the top wide receiver.
Yeah. And to be honest, get Chase Edmonds in the 7th round. I mean, I know he's the number 2 guy, but they're going to be splitting reps. I think it's going to be 50-50 pretty much over there.
Yeah. I think Callaway was a bit early, but it's certainly a solid pick. 7th round, he's your, looks like, I can't see above, but 3rd or 4th receiver. He's a perfect wide receiver 3.
Yep, yeah, wide receiver 3. Yep.
You got a nice team, Facebook user.
That's Jeremy. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, what you're going to see with Callaway, we talked about him last year, is it looks like he's finally going to get the ball thrown to him more than just a couple times a game, running good routes. We all saw the preseason thing that we pumped out there. What you're going to see with Callaway is, if he does what we've seen he can do what we thought that he could do last year. He's going to end up being top 5 rounds minimum next year because he's going to be their number 1. I think it was 2 years ago. It was last year. Remember I said this. I said remember when I took Devontae Adams over Michael Thomas when nobody was even talking about Devontae Adams, and I said I took him. I don't think Thomas is going to have a good year. I think it's kind of pretty much over for him.
You know who took Michael Thomas?
You did. But you still won it all.
I traded him for Alvin Kamara. That was the best trade ever.
Yeah.
Kamara and Waller for Michael Thomas, Jonathan Taylor, Goddard, and Rob Gronkowski. Yeah, you see the thing. That's why I was laughing.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like putting that on the board.
Can I write the waiver wire pickups with hair? What do we got here?
All right, we're coming up. Where our pick is up.
All right. We are up, Rob. We are up, and
I'm thinking either Salt.
Salt or.
I'm adding to the queue. It won't let me add to the queue. You add to the queue.
Well, I don't know who to add.
Salt would have to be the option here.
You think so?
I mean, if we're going our
right
4th.
Yeah. You don't think that we should go
45 seconds.
Yeah, I know. I got you. You don't think that we should go with an Olive here? Too soon?
I feel like we can get Olive on the way back. I mean, you could probably get either one on the way back.
All right, let's get Salt.
All right. Olive would be next, though, in my opinion. Olive or
Taco. I mean, there's other options other than Taco now at this point.
Salt is Nate Peterman. That's a good one.
There's other options other than Taco at this point. That
definitely.
Would be there.
I agree. Start adding to the queue who you're thinking, because I can't add to the queue.
Right there. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's who I was thinking too, to be honest with you. Instead of reaching for Taco.
I mean, you think that we should pass up on Olive?
Yeah, for that, I would. It fills another gap there. Once you start getting further down, I mean, you're taking risk.
All right.
I mean, again, we don't have to do that. I mean, we could go Olive. I just wasn't expecting him to be there.
Can you scroll up the draft board? I just want to see some. All right, yeah.
Go with your gut.
I'm gonna go with the Q. I'm gonna go with the Q.
Okay, go with the Q.
Go with the Q.
I vote Pink Taco. That's a funny one.
You know, I like your pick right there, Sean. I'm a big fan. And he's been warming on me, not ridiculous measures, but as this offseason, this preseason has gone on, I've really been warming to Kenyon Drake. He had a relatively nice season last year. Quiet, nice season for the Cardinals. I think that he adds a whole nother dimension to the Raiders. I think Josh Jacobs got overworked, and the guys behind him just weren't very good. I think he's going to be the 1B there, and I think it's going to make Jacobs better. And I think Drake's really going to have a nice role. He can catch the ball. He's got some power. He's got some speed. I think that was a really nice pick. Drake is being criminally overlooked and under talked about at this point. Josh Jacobs has been nicked up quite a bit past couple of years. Maybe it was overusage, but if he goes down, like Drake is a RB1 without question, and you just got him in the 8th round, and we overlooked him.
I'm going to talk about Joe Burrow since he's been drafted already. Mm-hmm. He's been my sleeper quarterback in pretty much every league that I've been able to draft in. I've been taking a late quarterback, and I really think Joe Burrow is going to come back with a chip on his shoulder, being like, guys, just because I hurt my leg doesn't mean that it's over. Watch what I can do. I've been teaming him up with anybody that I can. So Jamar Chase is somebody that I teamed him up with in one of the league, just in case. Just in case.
Ton of weapons. Really can't go wrong. I'm still telling you, man, Thaddeus Moss is going to come through. I know that I had talked about Drew Sample last year as somebody on the team. I just don't think that he's got the gusto. They're saying he's doing a little bit better. We'll see. But I just think Moss, he made the team. He was a stud for Burrow at LSU. Mm-hmm. I could just see Moss coming in, Thaddeus Moss, and being that stud tight end for the Bengals and just usurping, is that the word? Usurping Drew Sample. Even though I like Drew Sample, but he just didn't ever seem to put it together. Maybe it's because Burrow was out and it was a bunch of bums, other than my boy Finley, who's jobless at the moment, unfortunately.
You love Ryan Finley.
I love him.
Yeah.
I love him.
Crush on Ryan Finley.
So much. So hard.
I agree with you, though. Thaddeus Moss, if he can get going, that may be a jersey that I get, to be honest. I love Randy Moss. He's my favorite player of all time. And I really think that Thaddeus has not gotten the chance that he deserves.
Yeah, I think he's going to, because he's Burrow's boy.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, think about it. Between him and Chase, I think like those three right there, they played together. They know how to play. If it's the same system, they're gonna thrive, man. It's all on Joe Mixon, though, for me. If Joe Mixon can play to his potential, I think Cincinnati is going to be one of those teams that, again, won't be in the bottom of their conference or in their division.
I have so many Finleys as well.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
I got it. I'm going to say this. We're live. We're talking. We're having fun. I'm just having some regrets and reservations about Zach Moss. You talked to me 2 months ago, Rob. I was pumping up Zach Moss so hard. I think even on the preseason show, I pumped up Zach Moss, but I mentioned that Singletary, Mr. Dingleberry, Facebook user said that, not me, was starting to ramp it up. And Singletary actually started the last preseason game for them. It's going to be a 50-50 at best to begin. Singletary's sick, man. Remember his rookie year before he got hurt? It's like he only had 2 touches a game, but somehow he'd have 90 yards on the touchdown. He was ridiculous. And they drafted Moss to basically be the starter over him. Then Moss never got healthy. So they got 2 really good backs. Just, I guess the only reservation, the only like sadness or feel like a mistake is I wish I would have taken Kenyon Drake. I just think that was such a good pick. And
Drake
I don't have enough.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
I don't have any Drake shares. I just think Drake is a league winner if anything happens to Jacobs, and I just think that Drake is going to catch a good amount of balls, 50 to 60 minimum. So he's going to be their third down back. And Vegas, they're not very good. They're going to be behind. So we'll see.
So showing what that means is that if he's up for grabs, just, shoot a chat message or shoot a text. We can have some conversations.
And I also like, who's that, Candyman? Candyman Gang. I think that was a good pick, Michael Carter. A little soon, but I picked him in our most important league, Rob. And I do think I liked him. I talked about him in the preseason show. I think he's going to be the starter. You said by week 7, which is after the bye. I think before that, he's going to have Burn before that. Tevin Coleman is nada. Ty Johnson, we've talked about him in nauseam. I like him in that offense. He fits their zone block scheme that they run now in New York with the new coaching staff. So Ty Johnson could be a sleeper, but I feel like Michael Carter is obviously the most talented out of all three at this point in their careers.
Ty Johnson for me is the mystery, and you're right. Michael Carter should be getting reps and stuff like that. They said it's going to be a 3-headed monster, like you just mentioned. It's just Ty Johnson. When he's on, he's really good, and I can see him being like, okay, if he gets 10, 15 yards on the first drive to 20 yards or has a big run, that's what's going to hurt Michael Carter, because Tevin Coleman's going to be your change of pace back or your bigger back, and Ty Johnson's going to be the one. If he's hot, he's going to stay in the game.
Yeah.
I have Michael Carter in Dynasty, though. I took him with my first pick this year because I have a feeling that he's going to eventually be that guy. But it's just this year, I'm hoping later in the year that he comes on.
Jeremy with another huge pick. I didn't even see Jalen Waddle. I think he's going to be a stud. I think he's going to be your Tyreek Hill. And he's playing with his college quarterback as well.
Yeah.
I got to go ahead and cross him off on this.
What's funny is that I'm finding that more of interest. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're bringing in these college offenses, especially for these bigger schools, especially if they're, don't have somebody that's established, as the offensive coordinator, and they're teaming them up with guys that they've played with before for that comfortability. Yeah.
Makes sense. Why wouldn't you? I'm going to say Carter just because Sermon is part of the 8-headed San Francisco. I like Elijah Mitchell there. Right? Mitchell. I believe his last name Eli Mitchell. And Mostert, of course. And they got Jeffrey Wilson, who will be back. Hasty. They always seem to pull guys out of nowhere. Jalen Hurd is healthy, and they'll use him on sweeps. They'll use Debo on sweeps. They'll use Ayuk on sweeps.
Don't they also have Jason Huntley or something like that too on
probably there? So that's why I would say Carter, because he's
first defense off the board.
Defense is key in this league too. If you guys that are watching haven't looked, defenses score a good amount of points in this league. I mean, it's not really an advantage because every defense has the ability to score that many points. But, I mean, you got to look at a defense. They're on the field 50% of the time. That's why we need the points like that in our leagues. Which rookie takes Offensive Rookie of the Year? I actually took this bet, and I think I talked about it in the preseason. Zach Wilson is who I took.
I got Justin Fields. If he can get onto the field by week 4 or 5, I think he outperforms everybody, in my opinion. I love him.
Definitely not going to be Lawrence. I mean, you can write that down. If it is, and I'll eat my words, but it's not going to be him. ESPN's going to cry because it's not going to be him. It's going to be a Jet or it's going to be a Patriot, I think. It's going to be Mac or it's going to be Zach.
The Mac and Zach.
Waddle's my favorite rookie wide receiver. And there's another guy who I'm not going to mention because we're doing a draft. I'll do it after he's drafted unless we take him. But Waddle's my favorite. He's the only one that hasn't been hurt yet, knock on wood. He's playing with his college quarterback. He's faster than anybody else. He's got great hands. Runs every type of route. Nothing against Waddle as being the best rookie wide receiver. Trey Lance, Facebook user. The only reason I won't say him is because he's not going to at least start for a few weeks. And that's the issue with him. Here we go. Olive.
Olive dropped to us. I would go with Olive.
Olive. Yeah, I'm on Ross St. Brown. Good pick.
I like him. I really think that as far as from an offensive perspective, he's the number 2 over there. You got Tyrell Williams. I mean, Hawk is possibly the number 1 between him and Tyrell Williams, but still, I mean, it's St. Brown can really be somebody of interest, especially going into somebody looking into waiver wires like week 3, week 4. If you need to start picking up somebody, if you need wide receiver help, I can see by him coming on, with Goff and really getting that type of connection.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I gotta look at some. 2, 9, 7, 9, 11. Rob?
Yeah.
I'm gonna add somebody to the queue.
All right.
I think I want to go with this. Just have a feeling about him.
Yeah, I would be okay with that. But then that's it.
Yeah. Who took Debo?
Debo, round 7. No mercy. Who's no mercy? No mercy is Mr. Ken.
The reason that I liked that pivot there, Rob, is because we had a pivot where we didn't have to go to Taco Bell.
Correct.
So there's options. So I'm feeling okay with that one. And I think that because I had a little bit of reservations with Moss, I think Dylan is solid enough with Aaron Jones' injury history and the fact that Green Bay likes to do 2 running backs all the time.
Quadzilla is correct. I like it, man. I really think it makes a lot of sense for us, especially if you're not feeling Moss.
Yeah, it's depth. And I look at the other running backs that are pretty much left, and he was just sitting there. And I don't see a reason to not go ahead and take him at that point. That's pretty much what I did in our most important league, our main league, Fantasize Me, where I ended up getting A.J. Dillon. Was the same sort of thing. I was like, he's going to play. He's Jamal Williams, but probably a little bit better. Might not catch the ball, but I tell you one thing, if they get close to the goal line, it's probably going to be him and not Aaron Jones this year. Right?
Yeah, with those size of that, his legs being able, he's going to push the pile with no problem, especially if they're within the 5.
Yeah, I would think so. I think he's their goal line back at worst.
All right, so Ken went with Michael Thomas in the 10th round, man. That's not bad. I mean, if he's out for 6 weeks, if you can have him on the bench and stuff like that, I know you're saying that you think Michael Thomas is done. He's still going to be looked at. I mean, once Winston gets him back, if Winston's still the quarterback at that time, I can see him and Marcus Callaway really working well off each other if Michael Thomas is healthy. One of my guys, Curtis Samuel. I really think that kid's going to be good, man. He's up back with Ron Rivera. Fitzpatrick knows how to utilize his quick, sneaky little, wide receivers. I really think that's a good pickup there. 10th round.
So I'm thinking, Rob, and you say, no, you crazy son of a brother.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and I'm going to change the name. I'm going to change the name to Whopper. Because I feel like the name is a little too forthcoming.
Okay. Understood.
And I'm thinking that based on our current roster, and I think that is a good play. Next.
What round are we going to be? 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because 2 picks after that, we could always grab something else. What do you think, Facebook user? What was that last pick? David Johnson. Okay. Are you doing? Texting me?
I am. Just to make sure we're on the same page.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Just because.
Yeah, it fills gaps. I get it.
I mean, just the one, and looks like who's left out there? Who's left out there? Oh, I got this guy. I like it. All the rookies. Okay.
Justin Tucker.
Okay.
I saw Koo went first. Justin Tucker going second kicker.
Nice.
Interesting. Let's see where Jeremy goes here. You're welcome, Facebook user.
Yeah, and Jeremy, I love your defensive pick up there, Cleveland. One of the most underrated defenses there is, I think.
I'm really liking this draft board. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they added this as a feature.
Now I wondered, like, could I look at that, or is it only if it wants to be presented?
You can click on your settings and hit presentation.
Oh, okay.
And I'm pretty sure that you would be able to see the same way I would.
All right. Okay. Who's in the league that is viewing right now? Is it only you all? Because I'm wondering how you feel about your team. How do you feel about this so far?
Well, we've had a steady amount of people here, so I'm assuming that they're watching. And
Callaway's off the board. Callaway went 6, I think.
Yeah, I think 7th round. Yeah, right here. Jerry was making sure that he was getting him early.
Is that Jeremy? I always see his Facebook user. Oh.
No. I'm saying Jeremy's team, right? I believe Jeremy's bear down.
Facebook users can drive me up the wall this
year. We'll figure it out.
I don't understand. Like, I just want to know. How do some people get their names there? It's got to be like the waiver or whatever you said you did. Yeah, drafting for an hour gets lonely. It does. I tell you what, when we did our dynasty draft, which is just the rookies and free agents 5 rounds in our Yahoo Dynasty League, they had a video option. And then, like, it went away when we did our main draft, because we did that back in June. We just get rid of those 5 rounds for our dynasty. And I was on there chatting with one of the other guys in the league. It was pretty cool. This is similar, I guess. But I got you. Facebook user, you are also really good. I'm not sure who you are. I'm going to take a guess. Say it's Jeremy. I'm not sure.
I'm going to go with context clues and go with that as well.
Yeah, I think that you're doing okay, my man. I got a couple guys on your team that you can send our way.
Okay. Just to let everybody know, Nick is a trade. Let me not say it. A person who likes to trade a lot. So
I do. All
we're
right,
coming up here, sir.
let's do it. Right?
Yeah. Take their breath away.
I mean, especially because Everett was just taken. So we got to take our boy, Juwan Johnson, fill 2 gaps. Now we got a backup wide receiver and a backup tight end.
All right. There, guests. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to be doing on the way around here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a few things like there's like a shot in the dark guy that I'm going to just throw up there. And then there's some of these guys that I can throw up there at you.
I would prefer one of the bottom 3 instead of going with another.
Okay. I'm kind
Look
of
at bye weeks, though.
I'm kind of digging. I feel like the first one had that little bit of hype and could be
Yep.
everything they said. I feel like the second one they kept him out because he's probably going to be the guy.
Yep.
The third one, nobody's going to take him. We could take him later if we want.
Yeah, I think we could take him later. I would probably go the third guy on the list.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right.
It should be number 2.
Yeah, even if he's number 2, I mean, Mac's going to be throwing the ball. I mean, they're going to be running it, don't get me wrong, but they chose Mac because they liked his arm. They liked his ability to be able to hit the spots that he needs to hit. And that is what, if Aguilar can catch the ball, I think he would have a lot of opportunities. Don't get me wrong. Jacoby Meyer, I still think sees more targets, but I think it's going to be deep balls to Aguilar.
Yeah, Aguilar looked really good last year. I have Aguilar on 2 of my teams already. They held him out all preseason, not because he was injured, just because he's going to be an integral part of what they're going to do. Yeah, they have the 2 tight ends. Yeah, they got at least 2 running backs, 3 or 4 if you count White and Taylor. But like you said, they're going to allow Mac Jones to throw the ball. I said in the preseason show, or maybe I even said this during the draft. I think it was during the draft. I think I might have said it to Biker. Tom Brady 2.0 when they drafted him. Maybe I even told you that, Rob, in a text. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Somebody. I was like, I guess Tom Brady 2.0. He's going to be great. I like Aguilar. And there's a couple other options there. We might even be able to get the first one when it comes around to it. I think either one of them. Or we could find something else fun to do.
This is where the fun begins.
Yeah. So let's see our buys. Wide receivers, we've got 12, 7, 14, 6, and 14.
All right, so no more 14. I'm liking the second guy on the list if it comes back around. On the queue.
Okay.
Even damn, I can't add it. I'll text you.
Okay. I just looked at somebody. We'll see. That's not a bad one there. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So what do we got? We got 1 bench spot left, right?
I believe so.
One bench spot. We need a kicker. We need a defense.
We didn't do limited moves on this league, right?
No.
Many moves as you want.
I don't know. Is Mike Williams still available? I doubt it. I'm sure he was.
Yeah, I doubt it too. Let's see.
Quite early.
Mike Williams went in round 7.
Candyman gang.
Yep.
Wish they could trade Daniel Jones for Mac Jones. Yeah. Hey, Daniel Jones might be okay this year. If Saquon could stay healthy, they made their offensive line a little better. I mean, it doesn't hurt having Ingram hurt already. Kenny Galladay can't stay healthy at all. He's made of glass. Which Facebook user typed in "never heard of Juwan Johnson"? Because you did, if you pay attention to the page, to the group.
Ooh. Right? No, I'm just joking.
I'm not trying to be a DICK.
Just busting chops.
I don't know if they're busting chops. I don't know if they really never heard of them, or if they're just being silly. Facebook users have been known to be silly tonight.
Daniel Jones rookie cards for sale. I may be of interest, depending on the price.
All right. Well, were you being serious, Alan? I don't think so. I feel like I answered one of your questions with his name. No, Dawn scooped him up. Dawn, are you here? Is Dawn here tonight? I wonder if she was the one that said, "I wish I could be in the league." I feel like that was a Dawn comment. I just wish I knew who was saying stuff. Like, I don't even know who said, unfortunately.
Just go on your phone. Just take the sound off. Go on your phone real quick, and they'll tell you who the people are.
Oh, Rob, this is why I keep you around.
Thank you. It's not just the looks.
I'm just an old man. Okay.
Listen, I've gotten to a point where I can edit videos. I'm working on doing some programming and stuff like that.
Now I can see
learned a lot.
Everybody's beautiful faces. Yes, Alan, I did answer a question about that. All right, so now I know. Rob, you're freaking genius.
You know what they say. Knowing's half the battle.
G.I. Joe. You are a smart man. Now I know who everybody is. I can't scroll back up, but this is something I'm going to have to do on Sunday and Tuesday. Who's up?
I'll make sure I'll try to figure it out.
Did we win yet? No, we didn't win yet. Shucks.
I like that. Whoever has the first pick here, who just took Boston Scott, two-headed monster. Oh, Darko and Michael. Good pick in the 12th round, getting Boston Scott there, man. I really think he's going to take some from Miles Sanders this year.
I'm going to say this about that pick right there, Hunter Henry. I think, I said in the preseason, Jonnu was going to be better. Jonnu was going to be used more in different ways, was the better pick. But then I talked about how they're not quite Gronk and Hernandez. They're going to kind of cancel each other out. They both have injury history and issues. But I'm going to tell you this. When they went from Cam Newton to Mac Jones, I think Hunter Henry's stock went way up. I think he's going to be much better off over the middle of the field and in the end zone with Mac Jones than he would have been with Cam Newton. Because they get close to the end zone, Cam Newton's going to try and run it in. Cam Newton's going to throw it into the dirt or make a terrible throw for an interception because he's terrible. And he's going to look for like his favorite guys that he always would do. He would just, we all watched him last year. And I just think that with the switch to Mac Jones, I feel like Hunter Henry's stock went way up, and it hasn't quite been reflected. And now it's too late because drafts are pretty much over. I think that he's going to be somebody that's a great pick in round 13. Is he going to be an amazing starter for you? Probably not. But will he have some really good weeks? Sure. Will he most of his weeks be 2 or 3 catches for 35 yards and maybe a touchdown? That's probably what you're going to get. But Hunter Henry's been known to explode a game or two here and there. And I think if he can stay healthy, I think he's going to be somebody that Mac Jones is really going to look at more. Which kind of makes me, which was kind of why I was a little weary of the Nelson Aguilar pick. But Rob, you are my partner, and I trust you. So we went with it.
Yeah, I could agree with you. I mean, I just think it's going to help everybody on that team, no matter who it is. I mean, targets should be more, even though Cam threw the ball, how much was he throwing the ball a game? I mean, I think we talked about some games where he threw like 12 passes.
Yeah, terrible.
Mac Jones is throwing more than 12 passes. Even if on a high number, we'll say that Cam threw 30 times. I can see Mac Jones throwing 25 to 30 times a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Allen. That's Allen there. Facebook user. Allen. No, I think Winston will be okay. Yeah, the LASIK surgery couldn't have hurt. Year behind Breeze definitely couldn't have hurt. Taysom Hill breathing down his neck. Ian Book, the rookie, not far behind. At least if it gets real bad next year, I think Winston's fine. The biggest issue with Winston is going to be targets. He's got Marquez Callaway, he's got Juwan Johnson, he's got Alvin Kamara. Sorry, Traquan Smith, it's over. Deontay Harris, aside from those 3 guys, will he find somebody else? Yeah, probably. They'll always pick somebody up. I like Winston. Not a terrible pick at all. He's fantasy gold. Especially if interceptions don't count too much against you. I think he'll clean a lot of that up this year. I don't think that Sean Payton is going to be foolish enough to just let him go nuts and just chuck the ball like a crazy man. You're going to see him a lot more controlled and a lot more concise, if not precise, with his passes, for sure. You're not the only one. You could have a huge year. They're going to need it. Their defense isn't as good as it used to be. They're in a tough division against some tough defenses. I think the Cardinals have a very underrated defense. Or not the Cardinals. The Bucks, the Panthers have a terrible defense. The Bucks are a good defense. Yeah, he'll be fine. He's good. He's going to be somebody that gets drafted as a backup, as he has been. And he'll probably start a couple weeks, even when he doesn't have to, just because of the matchups. Why not? I thought Cam Newton was going to go to Dallas. Surprised he didn't. I don't know. I could tell you, if Cam Newton or Todd Gurley come back, I don't want anything to do with them in fantasy, regardless of where they go. And Gurley wasn't terrible last year, but the knees, man. And that's kind of a reason why I don't love Sony Michel too much. It's just he's got paper mache
running
knees.
Backs, man, especially.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. And it's crazy, too, because they're same team, right? Same college team. And Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
And Nick Chubb. But yet Nick Chubb has been, knock on wood, durable. And those two have not. Cohen. We're winding down here. Couple picks left. Rob, I have an idea here. And let me talk about, but I'm thinking this or this or this.
Yeah, I could agree with you on those. And then on the way back, one of your other 3 that you have there, I'm fine with any of them if you want to do that.
On the way back, what we have to do is we got to grab a kicker defense, at least a defense or kicker, one of them, right?
Well, we have one more bench spot. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm fine with any three of those, to be honest with you. Look at bye weeks though.
Yeah, the bye weeks are all good. The bye weeks are all good. And I'm just thinking, like, the last one I added.
I'm going to go second to last one just because then you're same concept as what our first one is.
So I'm going to get rid of those, and that's the one?
I think so. I mean, don't get me wrong, but if you're thinking the other way as far as who you had mentioned before on the show, it's tough to say it.
Let's just do it!
Just do it. All right, cool.
Should have went with Zach Wilson because I think he's going to have a better year. But
I'm just going from the double BB banger perspective. Say if Nelson Aguilar is that guy, at least you have the ability to do it the same way that we have Hopkins as well as Murray.
Yep.
And if we don't like it, I'm pretty sure no one else is drafting Zach Wilson.
All right. So let's see here. We're going to go defense. You want to go with who we were going with all along?
Yeah. That's fine with me.
Just take them, right? Week 14 bye. Hopefully we can ride it out.
Yeah, they were underrated last year, man.
Right. Came out of nowhere.
They did, and I really think that they have the potential of being that good again. But a lot of people are sleeping on Miami, man. I think that whole team overall has a good chance, and there's going to be a lot of contributors. It's just figuring out who the hell is going to be the contributors, especially with the injuries and suspensions and all that stuff.
All right, so all we got left is our kicker. And, I'm going to delete these guys from the queue.
All right.
We'll add them to our watch list after the draft. And it's just, for me, it's just always been coming down to these two guys. There goes one of them.
I just love his name, Rodrigo.
There's that one.
Zach Wilson got drafted. I know. I just said it, and maybe it went into their mind like, man, maybe I should draft Zach Wilson.
I drafted him as my backup behind Russell Wilson in the most important league. He's going to be the rookie of the year, man. He's got tons of weapons. It is not Adam Gase running the show.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are going to regret not getting a piece of this Jets offense, I feel like. I think they're going to be a lot better.
I like collectors. I mean, Chris did good there. Donovan Peoples-Jones, you had talked him up last year. I really think that offense is going to be so good. There's a lot of mouths to feed, but I can see him being good.
We both love Corey Davis this year.
I love Corey Davis this year.
I was a little less in love. I loved him last year. I had him on a couple teams. I was so happy that the breakout finally happened so I could actually use him. There goes Brian Edwards. We liked him. Good move. And I was a little hesitant with him going to the Jets just because I was high on Mims. And they had drafted Moore. And Crowder was still there. But then Mims sort of fell off the wayside. Crowder keeps getting hurt or sick. And Corey Davis does nothing but get 10 targets every single preseason game and catch 6 to 10 balls or whatever. And he just looks like he's going to be Zach Wilson's favorite target. So why not?
I was listening to somebody, I don't remember if it was on TikTok or some type of podcast, but they think that Corey Davis is going to be the Calvin Ridley of what last year was. How Calvin Ridley came on, he was a target monster. It was constantly going his way. They were saying that they could see Zach Wilson being that same. Corey Davis with Zach Wilson being that same type of player. I mean, I could agree with that. I can see him just getting a bulk load of the targets, and then your other guys kind of just, a few targets here and there, but it's still going to be productive. But I'm a Jets fan.
Dude was a number 5 pick.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just never happened because of, Tennessee's game plan, the way that their offense sort of ran for years and years. And then they started to open up a little bit when they got Tannehill. And then last year, the first full year with Tannehill, right? And it just sort of clicked. And then he got his big payday, and it looks like he's the number one and favorite, which is the most important part, favorite option for Zach Wilson. So it's the pedigree is 100% there, the skill. Fifth pick overall in the draft, his rookie year. There's no reason not to like him, even if it's the Jets, because, again, I do not think the Jets are going to be that bad. I don't even think the Jets were really that bad last year. I think Adam Gase made them worse. I think that they're going to be pretty good. They got some nice weapons. We talked about the running backs. T. Higgins, I like. Cortland Sutton, I love. I think Cortland Sutton is being way underdrafted. People forgot about him. People loved him last year. He was being drafted really high. Got hurt first game. People forgot all about him. He's back. Big touchdown from Drew Lock. I wish it was Drew Lock and not Teddy Bridgewater. I know Bridgewater did what he did. I know you're a fan, Rob. And I know he had a couple of big games with Robbie and Samuel.
Teddy Two Gloves.
But he also kind of fell off towards the end of the year and wasn't very good at all.
I think you're 100% correct there. But the only thing is that you got to think that he thought he was having CMC. He did a lot on his own. Mike Davis slowed down, which I think slowed him down. When that offense was pumping, I mean, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, I mean, all these guys were fantasy studs for a few weeks. Once Mike Davis started going down, they started bringing CMC back and so on and so forth. I don't know. I think that whole entire team went downhill.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Drew Lock's a better option, but that's just because I have a bunch of his rookie cards.
You know what? Drew Lock, I think, can sling the ball better. I think he has more potential. Teddy Bridgewater, for me, is if his knee injury doesn't happen, we're talking about him being like a Deshaun Watson type, in my opinion.
Yeah. It could be true, yeah. Yeah, what a terrible knee injury that was, too.
Oh, my God. His knee exploded.
I remember him in the preseason in fantasy. He was like, people were all about him. And then that happened. It was like, oh, no. What are we going to do in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Minnesota's never really been the same. I don't care what you say about Kirk Cousins. Ever since that happened, it's like, actually, I lie. Didn't they have the guy that came in for Bridgewater? Didn't he have a really good season? And then they just like up and got rid of him. It was like some career backup. And they were just like, we're gonna sign Cousins.
He went to Denver afterwards. What the hell is his name?
I don't remember. He did amazing for the Vikings, and then they just were just like, we're going to sign Cousins to a huge contract. Screw you. I don't remember who it was.
Oh, it's going to eat me alive now. I can see his face. Case.
Was it Case Keenum?
Yes.
All right. Well, here it is, Rob. Week 13 bye. Only guy left on our queue list. Another guy, I know nobody ever talks about kickers, but we know the team he plays for. And you know why he's so far down the kicker list this year? He hardly kicked any field goals last year. Why? Because Green Bay was always scoring touchdowns. I don't think they're going to score touchdowns that crazy again. I hope they do, but there's going to be more field goals. So hopefully it works out for us now. 4:30 a.m. You better go to work. Oh, it's Labor Day. Oh, you don't have Labor Day.
U.S. is Labor Day.
There goes that idea.
Thank Hendrick, man. Good job, man.
Yeah.
All right, we're on our last auto pick here.
All right. So I like it.
Everybody kind of joined. I think at one point, I know we had some auto drafters more in the late rounds. Probably people, it's like 10:30, got to go to bed. Some people do work tomorrow. Luckily, I am off.
Who works on Labor Day? Retail, right?
Retail, yeah.
Restaurants.
Big shopping day.
Probably really important people as well. Like real important people. Right? Not like us. We got jobs, but it's like, I'll tell you.
You got to go to work in 3 hours. Wow, Hendrick, I give you credit, man. Good luck, bud. Make sure you drink some more caffeine.
Red Bull.
It gives you wings.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. This
Yeah,
was
definitely.
our inaugural draft, I'd imagine, as the season goes on. We're going to be talking about this league on our Tuesday shows, our Sunday shows. We can do weekly recaps, whatever comes up. But I want to thank everybody who hung out with us for this entire time. It was pretty good, hour and a half. We answered some questions, had some reactions. And Rob, we have a team to co-manage.
It's going to be interesting, man. I co-managed with somebody last year. We worked pretty well together. I'm interested in co-managing with you. See, I think we work well together as well, but it's all the fun and games now. I can't wait. Season's coming, man. The season is coming.
So we're thinking what? Tuesday. Juwan, you got to tell me about this guy. Alan, I told you about this guy. Did I not tell you about this guy? Is he messing with me? I'm going to go back and look in the group. I told you about Juwan. Duality. Wide receiver turned tight end. Adam Troutman's not healthy. Juwan Johnson's killing it. If you have not drafted yet, or if you have and you don't like your tight ends, or you got an extra bench spot with some bum, go and scoop up Juwan Johnson. He could fill 2 holes for you. That's what he did for us. And we'll just watch him pop off in week 1. And everybody else will be scrambling after him. So you might as well just grab him now. That's what Answers by Guess does. Thank you for joining us Tuesday night. Let's just say what? 9 p.m.?
Yeah, probably around the same time I think we would go.
9 p.m. We'll come on for about an hour or so. We'll talk about the Thursday game. And we'll answer some questions. And we'll say hello, Facebook user.
Oh, yes. All right, guys. Answers by Guess. Guess. Talk to you later, bud.
See you guys.